All right, man. So, here we have it. Mike McDaniel's, there's rumors out there that he can consider taking the Eagles job over the Lions offensive coordinator job. So let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notification, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop a video. So Lions better hope the latest Eagles coaching rumors aren't true. Um, so this ain't the article I originally seen, but here we go. Detroit Lions continue to gain competition for Mike McDaniel's services this offseason. The two other lucrative offensive coordinator positions opened up after they had fired John Morton following Week 18, the Philadelphia job and the Tampa Bay job. I mean, honestly, um, Tampa, it's a good place to live. It's a weak division in Tampa. You got Baker, but you got a solid team. I can't lie. I would think Philadelphia and Detroit would be more sexier picks, but hey, the Bucks got a good. I mean, Bucks a good job. I mean, down there, Tampa, good weather, good quarterback. I mean, aging receivers, but you still got that Ohio State kid, Emeka Buka over there, and um, you know, I think the offensive line will be healthier this year. So yeah, I think it's right up there with us. He said while it does not feel like the Lions' job while it does feel like the Lions' job is better than those two, especially with how clear it was in the Eagles' elimination during the NFL wildcard game, how many question marks they have at quarterback right now it soars. Ah, it sure sounds like they're angling the Court McDaniels for his services, is reported by Fox Sports' Greg Ullman. The former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniels will interview for the Bucks OC job Friday. It will consider a great OC offensive coordinator opportunity better than a not great head coaching vacancy. In the Athletics, Diana Reese has made the connection between McDaniels and the Eagles, reporting that he's at the top of the interview list for the newly open OC. My thing is, if he at the top, make the interview. That screams Detroit, but it also could mean Philadelphia has a decent shot at landing him if they can get just one thing right this offseason, keeping AJ Brown aboard. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think that's one of the reasons why that thing broke down is because of AJ Brown, in my opinion. So I think if you can replace AJ Brown adequately. I think that's the real ticket there. I don't think keeping AJ Brown. I don't think keeping AJ Brown is the answer. If I'm keeping it a thigh while, um, that's not the answer. He I think he had a lot to do whatever happened, whatever made their relationship shaky between um, him and something happened between him and Jalen Hurts behind the scenes. Whatever it did is something they can't get over. Now, when you can't get over something like this, I'm gonna tell you, it's usually three things, right? It's either money or a woman, combination of both, or somebody said something so disrespectful to somebody that you just ain't no coming back from it. Somebody said something so disrespectful, ain't no coming back from it. So at the end of the day, they thought, usually guys can get over a little petty stuff and they can be cool. They not gonna make amends. If anything, had they probably not had, AJ Brown, had they not had AJ Brown this year, they probably would have had a much more successful season. He's just simply not happy there. And I think his lack of opportunities and also whatever happened behind the scenes with him and Jalen Hurts. So yeah. But honestly, if I had to be honest about the three jobs, I mean, Baker cooking right now. I mean, the Eagles, the defense that you can have with the Eagles, Tampa Bay. I mean, right now they're in somewhat of a transition. Todd Bowles, good coach. He had a defense ready to play. I think they got a great organization. I think they got a great organization going forward. I mean, Tampa's a good area, especially compared to live in Philly. You would probably rather live in Tampa and Detroit. We just keeping it a being. So we talking about places, but also if you're talking about getting right back in the head coaching in the head coaching, race. You know, Tampa, they don't play in that bad of a. They played in a horrible division, which that can change in a heartbeat, right? Philly, they got the names and all that, but the thing about Philly is the quarterback. But he can look at it as look, Baker and Jalen Hurts, they mobile. I seen Kellen Moore do some things with him. I could do some things with Jalen Hurts I couldn't do with Tua. Um, Also, uh, yeah, I can have some fun here. Possibly bring Tyreek to Philadelphia with them if they want what they would like. You know, um, you know. So yeah, I mean they both good jobs. I think the two running backs, Bucky Irvin and the other White down there. Um, yeah, down there in there. I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna say something. Saquon, Jalen Hurts is dangerous. Mike Evans, if he can still do his thing, they dangerous. But coming to Detroit, when you kind of line it up, the Lions' Achilles heel in this race is the offensive line, and then he can't be as creative with Jared Goff as he can be with Baker Mayfield, and he can be with um, Jalen Hurts. But also the thing what he can do with Goff, he can't do with Baker. You don't have to, with Baker, he's short, so he has to find, you got to move the pocket. With Jalen Hurts, you he can't sit in the pocket and dissect you. You got to move the pocket. You got to do those mobility things. But with Goff, you know, he's gonna get timing and precision. I think he'd be able to find rhythm. I think, between the two, Goff is better at doing, over the middle, surgically cutting people up, 12, 20 play drives. Accuracy is probably better than both over the middle. I think Baker got a bigger arm and throw a better deep ball. But I think with Hurts and Baker is more off schedule stuff. They're not, three-step bam. They're not those type of quarterbacks. They improvise. But on the other end, Goff is a timing quarterback. Goff is going, he gonna be able to, it's not there, I'm gonna go there. He can go through his progressions. Also, when you talking about the skill positions, you know, neither one of them compare. You got an older Mike Brown, you do got Emeka Buka, you do got, Devontae Smith and Dallas Goddard. But me opinion, I think Healthy Laporta better than Dallas Goddard. I think J-Mo better than Devontae Smith. I think St. Brown better than AJ Brown. I think Jameer Gibbs proven himself this year better than Saquon Barkley and better than the whole, better than I think Tampa, and Buka's a beast, But I mean, he had a good year, but to be honest, the Lions got to fix the offensive line. But the two extremes that you get when you talk about this, you get extreme improvisation, two guys that can really improvise, and Hurts and Baker, but they're not as great as time. And you got a guy in Golf who can improvise, but he can read defenses, and then he got great timing and progression. So, I mean, honestly, man, to keep it a being with you, I don't think it's Mike McDaniels or bust. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, I think Arthur Smith is the perfect fit for the Lions. I think he's a perfect. I didn't know he was that young. I think he's a more perfect fit for him, in my opinion. I think he's more perfect. Everybody's so caught up in the glitz and glam of creativity. The Lions are already creative without you know Ben Johnson, without uh John Moore. And they creative regardless without Mike McDaniels. I think the whole thing comes in with Detroit is they need somebody that understands ground and pound, and Arthur Smith understands ground and pound. And what do Arthur Smith need? He needs just a little bit of creativity. I think it's a match made in heaven. I think some of the creative things, well, some of the physical things that Arthur Smith believes in, run downhill, a hat on a hat, physical football. Also this year, he showed the ability to showcase his backs out the backfield. And I think some of the creative things that the Lions do is a perfect fit to get Arthur Smith back in the head coaching job. I think Arthur Smith is the guy for the job, um, even more so than Mike McDaniels, and that's just my opinion. The Lions just need to be physical early on. I think that Arthur Smith is a great hire for David Montgomery. I think it's a great hire for Jameer Gibbs. Um, I think it's a great hire for everybody. If you like, receivers, I think they love to block, be physical. You fix the offensive line, they get physical. And I just think what Dan Campbell and what Golf already does and meshes with Arthur Smith does. I think it's a match made in heaven. I might be the only person in Detroit right now that feel that Arthur Smith is better than a better fit for what we do in Detroit. I just think what we need. you know. And when you play physical football and you smash, that protects Jared Goff so he can be strong on the second half of the season. And I think if you get Arthur Smith, you need to keep David Montgomery. But also, if you get rid of David Montgomery, you need to get somebody that can be as physical as David Montgomery. You know, he tried to reinvent the wheel last year with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery's a great short yardage back. You know, let him be short yardage. Let him. And I hear people, oh, there's so many balls to go around. Ain't worry about that. You whatever works is effective because week 1 and 3 they might just say, oh, Gibbs and Montgomery tearing it up, and the receivers and tight ends not doing that. So now they stack the box. Now it's opportunity. It all works. It all balances. At the end of the season, if they stay healthy and play the same amount of games, it's all going to balance out. It's going to be equal opportunity for everybody. Everybody's going to be able to keep everybody fresh. Everybody's going to be able to keep everybody job easier because if I got to defend the run, defend the backs out the backfield, you know, I got to pay attention to that. I got to drop a safety. Got to worry about that. Now, Porter going down the seams. Now, you got to worry about Amon Ra over the middle. Now, you got to worry about J-Mo going down the field. You got to worry about Tesla going down the field. You know, everybody works in conjunction. It's just like a railroad, a train. You know what I'm saying? The wheels got to work with the motor, got to work with the wheels, and all that stuff. All that, everything has to work together. When everybody work together as a team, everybody makes their job easier, especially when they communicate. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Detroit Lions top playlist, hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. But yeah, I know I'm gonna be the only person that got that hot take. You know, just my opinion. I'm not going against the grain. It's how I really see it. So appreciate the love, support. Peace.